Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults.
And I think Mormons?
Mormons. Mormons, and I forgot to put the picture up, so we're going to do that right now.
Not that there's anything wrong with Mormons, because most of the Mormons I've met have been pretty cool about things. Unlike, was it 2 weeks ago at this point, I told you about the phone call that I got while we were talking, where I got cold called by Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
they're a little pushy.
Yeah, well,
Mormons just show up on their 10-speed, want to talk to you, and then you say no, and they're like, okay, cool, have a good day, and they ride off. They don't literally stick their foot in the door to stop you from slamming it in their face.
Well, Mormons, we're going to get into that. So, so we're getting culty. We're covering Taylor Helzer and the Children of Thunder cult.
Yep.
And
I do know a little bit about this case because I watched I can't remember the name of the documentary series. It was the same one that I saw the Beast of Satan thing on. It was that same series. I can't for the life of me remember what the name of it was, though.
It was called Occult Crimes.
Yes, there we go.
Because I used that for source material. I
think that was 2 or 3 episodes either before or after that one. They were definitely in the same season, though.
Yeah, they were. That was. Now I didn't realize it, but I hadn't heard this story. I had heard of it, but as I got into it, I'm like, well, none of this is really seeming familiar.
No shit. Okay.
So, which is cool. I did not know how this was going to end or anything. But they were an extremist group led by and cult led by the self-proclaimed prophet Glenn Taylor Helzer. They murdered 5 people in the San Francisco Bay Area back in 2000. Now, this is a Mormon offshoot cult. Helzer was a former stockbroker and a Mormon, but one day he decided that he was the prophet and that it was his God-directed duty to take over the LDS Church, Latter-day Saints Church, by doing just that. He would bring about the second coming of Jesus Christ.
No. He'll come back when he's damn ready to.
Mm-hmm. But there's lots of offshoot cults from the Church of the Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
We've already covered one, the FLDS led by Warren Jeffs.
Yeah. The regular Mormons, totally fine. Yeah. You start getting into the sister wives Mormons, those people are out of their minds.
Right. But I think we're the only podcast that made that piece of cockroach manure funny.
Probably. He sucked.
Yeah, but we had to in order to get through the story. But there's even more. And I'm sure we'll get to all of them at some point. There's probably some in the works right now. Actually, didn't we? I think we covered another one too.
Might have, yeah.
I think you and I did cover another Mormon offshoot cult.
Fun story that I just recently learned. This is Mormon related and also NFL related because I didn't know this. Did you know Steve Young, the former
he went to BYU
49ers? What's that?
He went to BYU.
Yeah, he went to BYU for a reason though, because he's a direct descendant of Brigham Young.
I think I did hear that.
Yep.
I think I did hear that.
I think that was on Crime and Sports that I recently heard that on. I was like, I had no idea. Makes sense though. But damn, if he wasn't a good quarterback, son of a bitch.
Oh, I know.
Second best quarterback the 49ers ever had.
Second best, yeah.
Yeah, and he took over for the best one they've ever had.
Yep. But neither of them, both of them would say that Dan Marino is the best passer that the NFL has ever seen.
Yeah, but Joe Montana might be the toughest quarterback that's ever existed because he was little and he got the dog shit kicked out of him.
Yeah. But one thing amazes me, these Mormon offshoot cults, they all want to seize control of the mothership church. They all declare themselves a prophet, and they want to control everything in the Church of the Latter-day Saints, and they're willing to kill to get it. And I can't think of any other cult or group of cults that wants to do this. Let me explain. The Pentecostal Church, for example, there's lots of offshoots from it, like Jim Jones of the People's Temple, Hobart Freeman, Faith Assembly, William Branham and the Message, Sam Fife and the Move. The list goes on, and we've covered every single one of those except for Jim Jones, and that will be some eventually. But we've covered every single one of them. I was in one of them.
Fire up the Flavor Aid machine.
Yeah, but these cult leaders, they didn't want to take over the Pentecostal church. They decided that their way was better, and they started their own thing. Not the Mormons though. Their offshoots, they want it all. And it seems to me that the Pentecostal offshoots way is easier than it's easier than starting your own thing and then beating the entire mothership into submission.
Right.
Just a thought that I had as I was writing this episode.
And honestly, none of them, I mean, yeah, a lot of them are violent and evil. I don't think any of them are as unhinged and crazy as that one that was created by a science fiction writer that I don't want to mention because I don't want to get sued.
Nexium?
No. I close. They've got an organization on the sea, I believe.
Yeah.
People were speed running their facilities there for a little bit during the summer.
Yeah, and you might call their mission impossible.
Yes. Yeah. A little grease-y.
Yeah. But
the children of thunder.
Makes them sound like an 80s like hair metal band.
It's one of the nastier Mormon offshoots. The smaller one, not huge like the FLDS, but as we all know, the smaller the cult, the more brutal it seems to be. Case in point, the Anthill Kids,
or that weird Christian militarized thing that we covered a little bit ways back.
Yeah, they
hated.
They got nothing on the Anthill Kids though.
No, they don't.
The Anthill Kids is the most brutal cult story that I know of. But
Rock Terrio was a psychopath.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think that they ever had more than 30 people.
No, and some of them lost a lot of their toes to shovels. So
this is true.
Ooh.
Sources for this episode are Occult Crimes, Season 1, Episode 1. The book, The False Prophet, Conspiracy, Extortion, and Murder in the Name of God by Claire Booth. LDSmovement.pbworks.com. And a little bit of wiki.
You ever worry that if you got raided by the FBI, they'd look at your book collection and go, we got to put this guy away?
Yeah.
Thankfully, all my true crime books, all 5 to 6 boxes of them, are still not packed. Or still not unpacked, I should say. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, I should get all my books out and get my bookshelf, blah, blah, blah. And then I found out that I got my new apartment. So I'm like, of course that would have happened if I had unboxed everything to rebox it just to move through the wall, basically.
Yeah.
But
right out of the gate.
Oh no!
We gotta take. You know what that means. We gotta take it for the true crime machine.
I love that.
Yay!
Okay. It can go away.
Go away. We flipped.
Go on, get.
Go on, get.
But Monday, August 7th, 2000, in the Sacramento San Joaquin Delta of California, a jet skier reported bags floating to the surface of the water.
That's always a good sign.
Yeah. The bags were collected and examined. They contained body parts and rocks, and a lot more bags floated to the surface later that day as well. Whoever did this didn't take into consideration of what bloating does.
No, they never do.
Rookie mistake. 9 bags in total were found. But
that was not that hard. There's only certain spots that you have to puncture to make sure that it doesn't float back up.
Well, they were dismembered.
Yeah, no, like with a torso though, you only have to hit like main organs and lungs and stuff, and they don't bloat as much and they don't float.
Yeah, but regardless, these bodies were cut into pieces, but they still managed to float back up. So, like I said, rookie mistake.
Heavier bags and more rocks. You got to watch Dexter.
Yeah, exactly. But that was buried by the press. They were reporting something a little more recent, I guess. The murders of Selena Bishop, Jenny Valerian, and James Gamble. 3 suspects have been arrested. A woman named Don Godman and Justin and Glenn Helzer, who were brothers. Taylor Helzer was born July 26, 1970, to Karma and Gerald Helzer in Lansing, Michigan, although they soon moved to the San Francisco area. They were devout Mormons, and Taylor was the oldest of 3 kids. He had a younger sister, Heather, and the aforementioned Justin.
And I mean, 3 kids for Mormons is a little low.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a Mormon family that I knew through friends in high school that live in a town adjacent to me. And they were like regular Mormons, and they had 9 kids. Like, they could field a baseball team. Nice people, but, and if we ever find ourselves in any kind of a end of the world type situation, find Mormons, because they stockpile stuff and they're very friendly, and they might help you.
Well, they just bought up a huge, like thousands of acres of swampland over near Kissimmee, Florida.
Oh, no shit.
The Mormons did, yeah. But something was a little unusual in the family dynamic here. Taylor was the oldest, but he was the parents' favorite. It's usually the youngest.
Yeah.
And
first one's the kid you fuck up on.
Yeah.
And then you hone it in the second ones.
And they fucked up.
Yeah.
But
no. Really? We're talking about this guy.
But his parents favored him for unhealthy reasons. His mother believed that he was God's prophet, so right here we have the seeds of a cult being planted.
Oh, no, Mom.
Yeah. And his father and siblings bought into it too. His brother Justin looked at him as a role model, and everything the family did revolved around Taylor. This is very similar to Warren Jeff's childhood, minus the name recognition. Warren Jeffs and the FLDS were episodes 54 and 55. And like Warren Jeffs, Taylor loved every bit of the attention he was getting, and members of the church that they were in did too. And you can make the argument that Taylor's first cult member was his own brother Justin.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, and like I said, Justin looked up to him, but it didn't hurt that Taylor frequently reminded Justin of the pecking order between the two of them. He was number 1, Justin was number 2. December 7th, 1986, Taylor was accepted and ordained by the upper brass of the church. He decided then at 16 years old that he wanted to devote his life to the church. When I was 16, I was convinced I'd be a rich rock star by the time I was 25.
Oh, man. When I was 16, I was like, I'm getting a baseball scholarship. And it was pretty close within a year or two. And then, fucked both my legs up at the same time in front of a scout. So, yeah, pulled both hamstrings running to first on what should have been a triple. And it ended up being a very, very close single because I had to crawl halfway down the base path.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
But he dropped out of high school at that point. He did 2 years in Brazil as a missionary for the LDS church, and he was very, very good at it. He preached and he was able to draw large crowds because of his charisma and passion. He actually got a lot of people converted to to become Mormons in Brazil. He seemed to be walking the walk. For example, when they were behind closed doors and other missionary guys would tell a dirty joke, Taylor would grab his Bible and chastise them for it. He was definitely set up to really go high up in the LDS, but his missionary work kind of got him pissed off. He wasn't happy about it when he got back from Brazil, and because he wasn't being basically flaunted, and worshipped. He wasn't being gushed over. He believed that the LDS church was weak and that the entire church was losing the battle against evil.
Yes.
Basically, his time in Brazil was his first time away from home, where he was worshipped. he just expected he would be treated the same, like in Brazil and when he got home, and he wasn't. He felt like he should have been treated the same way, and I smell something culty cooking in the oven here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very yeasty.
Yeah.
It's a bread, Bill. That's what the cult up here does, is bread.
Okay.
They will literally kidnap you out of the fucking sandwich shop and ask you to go help them make bread on their facility, and then take all your stuff away from you because you're not allowed to have it. Ooh.
What?
Uh-oh. Ooh, Bill.
Huh.
Little behind the scenes. So, in the upcoming month or whatever, I'm gonna spoil some stuff. Bill's gonna take a couple weeks off to work on a couple of big ass episodes, and my dumbass. What's that?
It's a surprise.
We're not going to talk about that, but my dumbass is going to take over the show for a couple of weeks, and I think I might have just got a topic idea. If anybody's interested in talking about a cult that has not branches up here, but roots up here, and they fucking suck.
Okay.
They suck. They're scumbags. And I've met some of them personally, so...
Maybe get one of those to be your co-host.
No, fuck those guys. I don't even want to talk to them. All I'll say is if you're ever in Rutland, Vermont, and you see a place called the Yellow Deli, don't give them your money. Go to the sandwich shop down around the corner, because the guy's going to call you brother, and he's going to make you a really good sandwich. The other ones are creeps. So,
okay.
Just saying.
But he started butting heads with the brass of the church. He would tell people that he knew better than anybody else. After that, after his stint in Brazil and his brief little temper tantrum, he joined the Texas National Guard.
Which is odd because...
Number one, they're in California. Number two, okay, it's Texas.
And I don't know how Mormons feel about military service. They don't seem to strike me as the, given their history, not probably not the biggest fans of military service because of how they were treated when they were moving across the country by the military.
Well, hold on, ADD break.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the Mormon stance on military service? The Church of Latter-day Saints maintains a highly supportive stance on military service.
I was wrong.
While the church is deeply rooted in the theological preference for peace, it teaches that answering a country's call to military service is paramount and worthy of duty.
Fair enough.
The church supports service members through dedicated leadership ministries and resources designed to help them maintain their religious practices while in uniform. So, all right, the Mormons. Okay, I would have guessed the other way as well.
And that's a common misconception that a lot of people that are like anti-religious have, especially when it comes to like Christianity, where they're like, you can't go into the military. What about the whole "thou shalt not kill" thing? If you look at the context of it, it's more "thou shalt not murder," not "thou shalt not kill someone in combat."
Right.
Because it's a little bit of a difference.
Well, the Bible's full of combat.
Correct.
I mean, I don't count the Crusades as that. The Crusades is just a bunch of people using God as an excuse to be assholes. The Crusades
was a defensive war. The first couple were defensive. And I will back that up eventually on my show, History Goon. Hit that money button.
Where is it? There it is.
Because I can justify the first couple because they got their...
Well, yeah, but then it became just a way to supply your king and your government's greed and whatnot.
Correct.
The Lord saith that I
Correct.
should own this land and take 98% of what you make. 99 if you really, really, really want to be.
And like I think it was the 11th Crusade. That one's kind of fun because they were supposed to go back to Jerusalem. They made it to Sicily. Didn't want to pay for the boats that they ordered. stole the boats, and then went, fuck this, we're going to Germany. Like, that's the wrong direction, my guy.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, nobody expects to go fight the Germans either.
Yeah.
They've never historically been a problem for everybody else.
No, never.
And then nothing bad ever happened in Germany ever again.
Never. So, but there in the National Guard, he began going astray. He started drinking and partying, but he still maintained his belief in himself and God. He married his girlfriend Anne in April of 1993. They had 2 daughters. And after the Guard, Taylor and his family moved back to California. He worked as a stockbroker for Morgan Stanley and Dean Witter until 1998, and he was very successful with them. But things started to change with him. He felt trapped in his work and family life and believed that his destiny was slipping out of his grasp. God had other plans for the almighty Taylor, and the family joined an LDS church. They were excited to have Taylor based on his success as a missionary, but they wanted him to start at the ground level and work his way up into the brass. And this didn't work for Taylor.
No.
No, it's like, dude, I'm Taylor over here. He began challenging them, saying that they didn't know anything and he had all the answers. During that time, he started drinking and doing drugs, watching porn, and even cheating on his wife.
Oh, what a piece of shit. He's drinking?
Yeah. Taylor Helzer was a lot of things, but one thing he wasn't was a good Mormon.
No, doesn't sound it.
In 1996, he left his wife and family. And Taylor took off to San Francisco, started wearing all black. He joined an LDS church in Concord, California. Helzer was a lot of things, but one thing that he wasn't was into good hygiene.
Oh, he's a stinky fuck too? Great.
Yeah, he stopped taking showers. He was, after all, God's prophet, and they didn't have showers in biblical times.
Doesn't matter, man. You can still clean yourself up. Jesus washed homeless people's feet.
Right.
Wash your own.
But Jesus, we're talking about somebody that's trying to become, that is becoming a cult leader. But he decided, that's when he decided that the church had strayed from God's path and that he and only he should be in charge of the Church of Latter-day Saints. And it was God's will for him to overthrow it. All of it.
Nah.
But he needed something. Take a guess.
Money.
And lots of it.
That'll happen. You have that with these bigger jobs, you know?
Yeah. You can't just go up to the Mormon temple in Salt Lake City, Utah, and just announce yourself as the new prophet.
No, they don't like that for some reason.
No.
Not fans.
The picture, and the artwork that I do for this episode, I'll throw it up there again. Yeah, that is the Mormon tabernacle right there.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
It's a gorgeous building.
It is. I didn't know if you had seen it before or whatever.
I have. Yep.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
not in person, obviously, but I've seen it. Yeah.
Well, then you can't appreciate just the enormousness of it. I mean, it is huge. From the top of a mountain, 15 miles away, you can see it and basically point. Without even. Oh, I wonder if that's it. No, there's no doubt in your mind. That's it.
That's
from the top of a mountain 15 miles away.
Jeez.
It is huge. But so your job, your pesky stupid job, I mean, you can't conquer one of the biggest religions on the planet if you have to work a 9-to-5 job. So what do you do? You
got to break the law.
Well, you're jumping ahead here. You have to convince a psychiatrist that you're suffering from depression and get sick leave.
Okay, I didn't see that coming, but yeah.
He eventually got paid disability. He snowed the doctors too. But now he can dedicate all of his time trying to take over the world. I mean, the Mormons. And he already had his fall guy, second in command, his brother Justin, who was completely devoted to him. Still, you need money to support the revolution. And since he wasn't working at his job, he started selling drugs at all the raves that were extremely popular in the 90s.
Yeah, that works, hey.
Ecstasy mainly, because that's what you do at raves, but also cocaine, meth, and pot.
Yeah. There's good money in all that. I do know a Mormon guy that would probably say you're not supposed to do that,
Well, yeah. All of these Mormon offshoot cult leaders find ways to justify what they're doing.
Of course.
But did he have a sponsor, though? To get him his connections for the drugs? Apparently, the sponsor didn't tell him the number one rule, which was don't use your own stash.
No.
He was wasted. He was wasted all the time. He was aware that he wasn't being a good Mormon, but that seems to be a pattern with the LDS Church. Warren Jeffs went all over the U.S. indulging in whatever sinful thing he could find, and he justified it by saying that he was doing it for research into the demons that he was trying to conquer.
Right.
Fucking Warren Jeffs.
I got to do this heroin, man. It's the devil.
Taylor looked at it the same way. God had sent him on this path, so him being a drug fiend had some divine purpose.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. He joined an expensive self-help group to find his personal values, where the people enrolled had to talk about their faults. The way that the teachers, or whatever you want to call it, would treat them was to scream insults at you nonstop. That's it. It's brainwashing. It's basically like a voluntary troubled teen industry. What it was really doing was deconstructing people. Once they're down, you can bring them back up to wherever you want them to be. So if you're confused, he wasn't there for any type of self-actualization. He was there to learn how to break down and control people, and he did it well. So he began...
Unfortunately well.
Yeah. He began hearing voices. God was giving him a mission. Get the people ready for his imminent return while still attending his church in Concord, California. In these last couple paragraphs, I was wondering if he was a Queensryche fan. Because once they're down, you can bring them back up to whatever you want them to be. There's that line in Empire that goes, tear it all down, we'll put it up again. Another empire. And then later, God was hearing voices giving him a mission. The song Speak, they've given me a mission. Don't really know the game, but I'm bent on submission. Religion is to blame. I'm the new Messiah. I don't know. It kind of fits. It kind of fits.
It tracks.
Yeah. But nah, he's not cool enough to listen to Queensryche. But in 1998, the LDS Church predictably didn't share in his vision and how justified his drug use and abandoning his family was. He was excommunicated over it. And he was likely, while he was tripping balls, he officially declared himself to be the prophet. Not a prophet, the prophet. He wrote up a list of commandments that he called the 12 principles of magic. And that's what his followers would be expected to follow. Take it, Kevin.
1, I am already perfect and therefore can do nothing wrong. Okay, buddy. 2, there is no such thing as right and wrong. Again, okay, buddy. Number 3, I am all-powerful and therefore the creator of and accountable for everything that occurs in my life.
That's half right. That's half right. He is responsible and accountable for everything that occurs in his life.
Yeah.
He's right about that because but that's everybody.
Number 4.
He's not all powerful.
No, he is definitely not. Number 4, life is always right. I embrace all of my results. Again, that just goes with the whole I can do nothing wrong thing. And I'm also not going to take responsibility for my own actions. Number 5, all of my results I have created to learn from at some level. That one doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever.
No, it doesn't.
Number 6, I know nothing. I believe nothing. I simply perceive without fear.
We know you know nothing.
Yep. And I'm going to go ahead and say you probably don't believe in anything because you're about to do some really terrible shit.
Right.
Number 7, it is of no concern to me how accurate or inaccurate my perceptions are, and therefore I am always right. I can just ignore things.
Like, you can't see me. You can't see me. Throws a towel over his head.
Pocket sand. Number 8.
Oh, he's holding somebody's pocket these days.
Oh, he better be. Number 8. Unconditional, fearless love is the most powerful force in the universe. Possibly.
Maybe.
But not for, like, a cult-leading scumbag.
Right.
Number 9. Very simple, 2 words that also don't make any sense. Spirit knows. Like the airline? Or... Number 10. I gain total control by losing all control. Okay. A little sociopathic there. Number 11. Life is such a precious gift. I almost read that as grift. Anyway. And when I give back to life, immediately life gives more back to me. And therefore I am forever in debt. What goes around comes around.
Well, he's right about what goes around comes around.
Yep. See previous comment about holding someone's pocket. Number 12. There is a higher power than mine, and that is my Savior, Jesus Christ, the Son of my Father. Fair enough. You're right in commandments. That one kind of makes sense.
It does. And
the rest of it is nonsense bullshit, but hey.
Yeah. One thing that I will say about these these Mormon offshoot cults is, you don't see a lot of them saying that they are God like you do some of these Pentecostal offshoots.
Yeah.
I mean, he's saying I'm the prophet. The majority of these guys say that they're the prophet. Even Rock Terrio, I believe, said that he was the prophet. I don't think that he said that he was God, did he?
He might have claimed to have been God.
Actually, you know what? I think he
definitely at one point was like, I am the prophet, and then he may have gone far enough to say I am the Messiah also. But
yeah, Savage Messiah. Yeah, he absolutely did. Okay. But I mean, a lot of them claim to be the prophet,
which is insane.
Hobart Freeman did.
Mm-hmm. L. Ron Hubbard did.
All hail Xenu.
Yeah. Or whatever fucking Star Trek fanfic he was writing.
What does God need with a starship? Yeah, Star Trek V gets a bad rap. I kind of like that one.
I've only seen one Star Trek movie. Full disclosure. And it wasn't even the first one. It was was it Wrath of Khan?
Oh, well, that's the best one.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever seen.
But you probably hadn't seen the original series episode that one is a continuation of.
I might have, because I watched a bunch of it with my grandmother.
It's called Space Seed. But in 1999, his church organized a murder mystery event, which is kind of weird for a Mormon church to do, I guess. I don't know.
That seems a little odd.
Yeah. There, Taylor met a woman who, the woman who gets arrested in the beginning, Dawn Godman. She was young. She was very overweight. She was a lost soul searching for something to believe in and to belong to. And she quickly became friends with Taylor and Justin. She had found somebody to believe in. It was God's prophet, Taylor Helzer. Yay!
All right. Our boy.
Yeah. He's not going to steer you wrong there, Don.
Definitely not.
He talked Justin and Don into going to one of these meetings that he liked so much. But in this one in particular, you didn't get to eat or sleep or even go to the bathroom. Once again, you got to tear it all down and put it up again. Another empire.
Yep. You shit in the bucket like everybody else.
Yeah, right? He had sent quite a few of his friends into this, but none of them had graduated. He wanted Justin in one, but he had to wait until he found the right one to accompany Justin. Dawn was it because she was ripe for the picking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, So Taylor, or so this class or whatever, ripped and Taylor with Taylor. I think Taylor. I don't think he was the leader, but I think he was involved. Um, he ripped on to shreds until she was a quivering mess. I mean, figuratively speaking, of course. What little sense of individuality and confidence and self-worth that she had was gone, and when it was over, Dawn was ordered to take off her temple garment, which is a holy undergarment that Mormons wear. She had fixated on Taylor, and she knew that if she didn't see this through, Taylor would be done with her. So she did. And then then she moved in with Taylor and Justin and began sleeping with Justin.
70s porno music.
He now knew how to make people do whatever he wanted, a skill that he needed if he was going to overthrow and be the new leader of the LDS Church. He would start a self-help group of his own and call it Transform America. It was to create a state of peace and joy, of course, using the 12 principles of magic, as if bowing to Taylor's commandments would be even remotely peaceful and joyful.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine it would be.
But this was when he coined the name
The Children of
Thunder, 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 Thunder.
So silly.
How would he accomplish this? He had 3 scenarios, any which, according to, in his mind, would work. Scenario number 1, adopt orphans from Brazil and train them to become assassins to kill the LDS church leaders. Okay. 2, recruit pretty young women at raves to make them into top-dollar prostitutes to lure married businessmen into bed, then blackmail them.
Okay,
now,
so...
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
So that second part was, what the hell was that name?
David Berg and Children of God.
Yeah, the flirty fishing shit.
Yeah.
And the first half of that is straight up part of the subplot of Metal Gear Solid, where he trained children assassins to create a military.
Well, also, remember your favorite episode, the aggressive Christian army cult, episode 177.
Yeah. Or season 3, episode 3 of History Goon with General Butt Naked. There we go.
I don't know if he just ripped off these other cults, but especially the flirty fishing one, that is, that's pretty blatant there.
That's pretty straight up. Like, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, but also in Sons of Anarchy, in one of the episodes in one of the later seasons, the guys used a trans woman to seduce a local politician.
Venus Van Dam.
Yeah, they took pictures and blackmailed him with it. And I really wish that episode was before the events of this story, but unfortunately it isn't.
Please hold.
I already did that. It's in Sons of Anarchy came out in 2008.
Oh no, I know, but I just want to show everybody a picture of the woman in question here, because to be completely honest, it might be some of his best work. It's fucking Walter Goggins in drag, and it's so good. It's so good. But
I mean, no word on if the Sons of Anarchy episode was inspired by this story, or but who knows? It's pretty crazy, because that is exactly what Taylor wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So at a rave, Taylor met Selena Bishop. She was a happy woman who was going places. She had recently gotten her own apartment, had a job waitressing. She was like 22, and she was just happy to be alive. And now Taylor can't have that, now can he?
No, absolutely not.
Taylor had no problem turning her into a devotee. He love-bombed her, and in doing so, he also lied to her, which, and he told her that his name was Jordan. But that was probably one of many lies.
I'm sure.
Selena knew that Jordan was the drug dealer from the raves, but she didn't care. Jordan was mysterious.
Ooh.
Mysterious, dark stranger. And smelly.
Definitely smelly.
But they got friendly and then romantic. So do you think that Jordan is the love of her life?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, put a knife in that. Scenario number 3. You thought I left that one off, didn't you?
No, I was waiting.
He still needed money and lots of it, so he planned to extort it from people and kill them. But he was a stockbroker, so he did know about money, but he needed somebody to launder it for him. Enter Selena. He told Selena that he was expecting a large amount of inheritance money, $125,000, but he was afraid that his ex-wife might get her greedy hands on it, so he asked Selena to open a bank account in her name. He would deposit the check for $125K into the account. This way, his wife would never know about it. And he offered Selena $25,000 for doing this for him. And anybody who has ever gotten an inheritance knows that the spouse can't touch that.
Or anybody that's ever been emailed by a Nigerian prince knows exactly what he's doing.
That too. But Selena obviously had never had an inheritance, so she agreed to do this for Jordan.
We can agree this guy's a douche, right?
Definitely.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page.
Glenn Jordan Taylor Helzer decided that D-Day was July 30th, 2000. This was the day that the war against the Mormons would begin, and when the dust settled and the smoke cleared, he, the prophet, would emerge in control of the LDS church. All of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He contacted Deborah McClanahan, who was a member of
the Children of
Thunder, 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 Thunder.
Another thing we can do here that I've been doing on my show a lot recently, everything was going according to plan until it didn't.
Well, just hold on to that, because things do go well for a little while until they didn't.
Yeah.
In this. So, but she didn't know of Taylor's super secret sensitive war plans, but he had a very important role for her. Take a guess.
She's going to be his second in command. His
No.
Mary. No?
No.
What's that?
Buy 4 tickets to the 8:10 p.m. showing of the X-Men movie.
Oh, damn it. Which one?
It was 2000, so it'd have to be the original.
Man. As long as it wasn't X3, because that was dog shit.
She had to keep the receipts from the tickets because they are the alibi.
Yeah, it's July 14th, 2000 was the first X-Men movie. That one is okay. I mean...
So he said that he had a super sensitive, God-appointed drug deal to make, and if the cops found out about it, hey, we were watching X-Men. Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, I have to sell this cocaine for Jesus.
Yeah. We had the receipts for the tickets. But maybe it's just me, but wouldn't the ticket stub be more believable than the receipt? Who keeps the receipts?
No.
No, you keep the stub.
Yeah.
But regardless, the war was on during X-Men. They're going to defeat the entire LDS religion in 2 hours. How long has Russia been at war with Ukraine?
It's got to be going on 4 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, how long have we been fighting Iran that was supposed to be a 4-day war?
Yeah, true.
68 days now.
Now take a guess at how many people are in Taylor's Grand Army of God.
Too many. Oh, wait, no, 5.
3.
3. Ah, shit.
Taylor,
it was an odd number.
Taylor, Justin, and Dawn. That's it. He had other people that were in his little circle or whatever, but the actual army that was going to carry out this grand plan, just 3. So you ready for the master plan?
Yes.
Taylor would look into some clients that he had from when he was a stockbroker. Most of the clients were wealthy, elderly people who would be easy victims. He chose Ivan and Annette Steinman. no relation to Jim Steinman, the legendary composer of Meatloaf's Bad Out of Hell and Bad Out of Hell 2 albums, Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler, a song that Meatloaf wanted bad but didn't get. And I think we're better for that because Bonnie Tyler killed it on that song.
The less songs Meatloaf had access to, the better. Let's be real.
So, dude, I love Meatloaf. But Celine Dion's All Coming Back to Me Now, which Meatloaf also wanted, although he did do a duet of that song with a woman, and it blows Celine's version out of the water. And hashtag, but I digress.
Honestly, my favorite work that Meatloaf ever did was playing Bitch Tits Bob in Fight Club. I loved him in that movie. He was so good.
Yeah, Meatloaf is one of my favorite singers of all time. But
this is Bob. Bob has bitch tits because he's on estrogen.
I haven't seen Fight Club, believe it or not.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, man, it's good. It's one of those movies you have to watch at least 2 or 3 times to really fully get everything. And if you do sit down and watch it, I would say watch it, then start it over again immediately.
Okay.
And it'll really it'll hit harder that way.
Anyway, Annette and Ivan Steinman were retired and living in Concord, California. They had 2 adult daughters, and now they were just living the good life, traveling. They had several timeshares. They had a very active social life when they were home. They even loved Taylor as a broker. They actually thought of him as a son.
Mm.
He weaseled his way into their lives and was basically saying, put a knife in that to them as far as their relationship, as he would be back for them when the time was right. And now the time was right.
That's no bueno.
Taylor knew that Steinman's assets totaled around $100,000, and that was just the money that he had made for them. So around 8 p.m., the 3 banditos pulled up to the Steinman house. Taylor was going to take care of the couple while Justin would wait in the garage, and then Don waited at the house that they were staying at nearby. Taylor, looking spiffy in a suit, knocked on the door, and Ivan answered and recognized him. He was happy to see Taylor. I mean, they were old buddies, so he let Taylor in, thinking nothing was wrong.
That was his first mistake.
Right. Annette offered him a cup of coffee. They sat down at a table, and Taylor told them he had some new business opportunities to tell them about. And the Steinmans were interested, and why wouldn't they be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor grabbed his briefcase from the floor and opened it, and opened it up on his lap, and then he pulled out a 9mm and pointed at Ivan. He ordered Annette to go get certain financial documents that he knew that she had. Why she didn't just go to a phone in the other room and call the police, I don't know, but she didn't.
Well, little old lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She returned with the documents, and Taylor went through them. He then pulled handcuffs out of his briefcase and ordered Ivan to cuff Annette. Ivan did, and Taylor forced him into the garage where Justin was waiting. He forced them into their minivan and drove to the house where Dawn was waiting. They told the Steinmans that they needed money to leave the country and that the banks weren't open. He said that the couple would have to sleep there in the house until the next morning when the banks opened. If they cooperated, they would be freed after it was done. Ivan and Annette agreed. Justin put a mattress down on the living room floor and forced the Steinmans to lie down on it. And let's be real, nobody slept that night.
No. Not a very peaceful sleep when you're being held hostage in your own home.
Well, no, they were at their flop house or whatever it was. Where they had taken them there.
Okay, I missed that part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, less conspicuous that way.
Yeah, that's true.
The next morning, Taylor and Don went to a phone booth. It was 6 a.m. in California, but it was 9 a.m. on the East Coast. So yep. Dawn called a Dean Witter office on the East Coast pretending to be Annette. She asked for the Dean Witter associate to liquidate the assets of the Steinmans, or her, because she was supposed to be Annette.
Right.
The associate said that the large $100,000 withdrawal would take several hours, and they would incur severe penalties. Dawn said that it was an emergency and they had no choice, and the associate bought it, and she said that she would make the transfer into the Steinmans' bank account in the next few hours. They went back to the house and told the Steinmans to get up and sit on the couch. They forced them to take some Rufinol pills, the date rape drug. Yeah, I wonder how many women got date raped at the raves thanks to this puke.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Yeah, probably a bunch.
Yeah, but they did. Taylor said it was just to numb them because they didn't want them to give Don any trouble because he and Justin had to go run some errands. As the Simons were starting to fade, Taylor told Don to write 2 checks to Selena Bishop, $33,000 and $67,000. They then forced Annette and Ivan to sign both of them. With the checks signed and the Simons still awake, Taylor decided he didn't need them anymore. It wasn't due to lack of trying. I mean, he had OD'd them on roofies. But they dragged the Steinmans to the bathroom. Justin bashed Ivan's head on the floor, and Ivan had a heart attack from the savage beatings, and he died on the spot. Annette didn't die, so Taylor cut her throat.
Great.
But they're in a bit of a pickle. They had killed 2 people, but they're in California. They probably wouldn't get the death penalty, but murder is a condemnable act according to the Book of Mormon.
Right.
But they rationalized it. They had done this act for God, so they'd be forgiven.
Will you, though? Because right? I know we just mentioned the, thou shalt not kill thing, and this is not, like we mentioned before, a combat situation. This is straight up fucking murder.
It is a combat. He's on a mission from God.
Okay, Elwood, calm down.
Where's my sunglasses? They joined hands and they prayed to Heavenly Father for guidance. They thanked the Steinmans for sacrificing their lives for the cause. It made them feel
like
better.
A Native American that just killed a deer?
Well, hold on. Yeah, but hold on. I mean, it made them feel better anyway, but they had to die in order to change America. But this is Herbert Mullins vibes here.
Yeah.
The plan wasn't done yet. Taylor told Don to write a $10,000 check from Annette's bank account to Ivan's account and to go to a branch of the bank that was an hour away and deposit it. They're making it look like they're still alive. Taylor Helzer was a lot of things, but one thing he wasn't was a fashion designer.
One thing he wasn't was intelligent.
Right. He told Don Godman to wear a lime green jogging suit, a cowboy hat, sunglasses, and to use a wheelchair when she went on this excursion.
Okay.
Taylor figured that badly dressed people in wheelchairs, they wouldn't be somebody that would steal or murder.
Dumbass!
Yeah, and it's also not noticeable, somebody in a wheelchair. Because, like, no offense, but you're going to pick that up pretty quickly, and you're going to remember when you went home, oh, I saw somebody in a wheelchair today, especially when you don't see it every day.
Right. Especially somebody in a lime green jumpsuit.
Yeah.
While Don was gone, Taylor and Justin cut the Steinman bodies up with an electric saw and stuffed the parts into duffel bags. Later, Taylor and Justin would take the bags to the delta of the Sacramento River and put some rocks in them and chunk them into the water. But put a knife in that. I gotta wonder, if this was God's will, why do they gotta be so secretive?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean,
like in Star Trek V, what does God need with a starship? So far, everything was going smoothly, though. They had to take this as a sign of God the sign from God that he approved. Don was able to deposit the check as well, the $10,000 one. So she went back to the house. So mission accomplished, sort of, sort of.
Meh.
When Dawn got back, she helped Justin and Taylor with the cleanup. There was a lot to do, and they wanted it done quickly, but when they were finished, they realized that the banks had closed, so they'd have to wait until the next day before they could acquire the funding for God's plan. The next day, August...
If it was actually God's plan, it would have just showed up on the front doorstep, I would think, like in a paper bag or something.
Yeah. Or like, I won't go there.
Uh-oh.
The next day, August 1st, 2000, the plan continued. Dawn put her ridiculous outfit on once again and went to a different bank than the one that she had been to the day before. She handled the $67,000 and the $33,000 checks to the teller named Vicky Sexton. Remember, the $10,000 check still hadn't been cashed yet. It was it was deposited, but they hadn't withdrawn. That was just moving money to make it look like they were still alive.
Right.
But Dawn told a super believable story to Vicky. The Steinmans told her to deposit the checks into Selena Bishop's account. Remember Taylor's Patsy, Selena?
Yeah.
Bishop is the granddaughter of the Steinmans. Foolproof. I'm impressed. Genius. The Steinmans couldn't come and deposit the check because Annette was due to have surgery later that day, and Ivan was with her. So Vicky said that she would need to talk to the Steinmans because this was a shitload of money.
Correct.
She dialed their number. There was no answer. And I hate it when that happens. She was foiled by somebody doing their job. How dare they? Vicky left a message on the answering machine asking them to call when they got the message. Drat.
Poop.
So Dawn tried to argue with Vicky because that always works. But Vicky kept saying no, the money would have to be confirmed before she would deposit the checks. Dawn then stormed out of the bank like an angry hippo on wheels. And of course, the bank kept the checks.
I'm so glad you restarted that. Fucking tuba music is the best for fat people. And I'm allowed to say that because I am one. So
Taylor knew that, well, I mean, I'm serious. She is large.
Kevin, you can't say stuff like that. It body shames people. Yeah, it does, including myself.
These are criminals. Yeah,
and fuck these guys.
Yeah, exactly. So Taylor knew that all traces of the plan had to be eliminated. He went back to Steinman's house, and all was normal there, so that was a good thing. He then found the answering machine and took the tape from it. He then told Dawn to call the bank and impersonate Annette to give them Annette's social security number.
Oh, my God.
The next day, Wednesday, August 2nd, 2000, Vicky Sexton had a message on her answering machine at work. Annette Steinman had called the previous evening and left her social security number on the machine. So,
well, what?
Annette,
who the fuck does? I know we're dealing with old people. They're not that They're not that gullible. I mean, they are, but
no.
Not to that extent.
Vicky Sexton was a young woman.
No, but she's pretending to be the old lady. Is she not?
Yeah.
I mean,
Dawn is. Dawn's pretending to be Annette, but
okay.
Yeah, but still, a 20-something. I think Dawn was probably around their age or around 30, but you're not doing a convincing old lady impersonation.
No, not likely.
I mean, if she could do that, then she missed her calling big time because she could have been in voiceovers.
Right.
Annette Steinman had called the previous evening and left her social security number on the machine. So Vicky called the Steinmans again, and of course there was no answer, and no answering machine this time either. Gee, I wonder why.
Oh, yeah, probably the whole no tape in it thing.
Yeah. Dawn called the bank later that morning. Vicky told her that everything was in order, but she still needed a live conversation with the Steinmans. No conversation, no money. And that's when the prophet began to panic.
I didn't prophesy this.
When I got to this point in the story, I was starting to think that Vicky was going to meet, the same fate as these other people, but Vicky survives this.
Yeah.
The plan was falling apart. I mean, what if Vicky decided to call Selena Bishop about the money? Selena had no clue who the Steinmans were. There was only one course of action. Take a guess.
We got to kill her.
Yeah, Selena.
Yep.
But not Vicky.
No.
You would think that they would have wanted to go after Vicky just because of the aggravation that she was causing them. But
right.
But no, they probably would have gone to Vicky, gone after Vicky at some point anyway, if they had made it through, with all this.
Yeah, probably.
Vicky, I am glad you are alive, girl, if you're listening.
You got lucky, buddy.
Mm-hmm. So Taylor became Jordan again, and he went to see Selena, who thinks that he is her boyfriend. He told her that he wanted to take her on a nice romantic trip to Yosemite National Park the next day.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah. He asked her to meet him at a bar that same evening, and she met him, and she told Jordan that she was extremely excited about the trip and had told her mother about it, and her mother agreed to house sit for her while they were gone.
Why'd you tell your mom?
Yeah, Selena had unknowingly signed her mother's death sentence.
Yeah.
But Jordan asked her to spend the night with him so that they could leave bright and early the next morning. And Selena...
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, Selena, who was totally smitten by Jordan, agreed. She followed Jordan in her car back to his place, and it was her first time there, and he was always so secretive and mysterious, so getting to see his place excited Selena even more.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean...
Yeah. But his brother Justin was there. No biggie, though. He probably told her some story about him being a hero and helping his brother or something like that.
Mm.
But once she got there, she wanted to take a shower, and while she was in the shower, Taylor went over a plan with Justin. She got out. Taylor offered Selena a massage. She lay down on her stomach, and Jordan straddled her over her butt and then started massaging her. Justin,
ladies, it's never just a massage. It's never just a back rub.
Right. Now it can be two different things. Thanks a lot, Kevin.
Hey, just saying. I was a married man at one point. I understand how that works.
But Justin then crept up from behind and bashed her head in with a hammer.
Yep, that'll do it.
But somehow he hadn't killed her, so Taylor dragged her into the bathroom and cut her throat.
That'll also do it.
Selena had mentioned that her mother, Jennifer Valerin, would house sit for him. Plus, he had met Jennifer. Around 4 a.m., he drove to Selena's place to tie up that loose end. And I'm guessing he stole Selena's keys because he found Jennifer asleep with her boyfriend, James Gamble, and he too had to die. So he shot both of them from point blank range.
Yeah.
Do you remember where Selena's place was?
No.
It was an apartment.
He shot two people to death in an apartment complex?
In an apartment, yeah.
And this doesn't take place in Chicago, so this is probably going to ring some bells.
This chucklehead went in there and fired a 9mm. What did he think was going to happen?
9mm loud.
Yeah, I mean, do you think God would silence the gun?
No. God didn't pay the tax stamp, so you don't get a suppressor.
Neighbors called the police, and of course they did.
Yeah, I mean, again, a 9mm is not a quiet handgun.
No.
Even with a suppressor, it's not quiet. I've shot them with suppressors. They're not quiet.
Police
got now, a 22 with a suppressor, on the other hand, is damn near silent.
Yeah.
But
police got to the scene around 5 a.m. and found the two dead victims. They weren't looking at this as a burglary going wrong because nothing was missing and nothing was out of place. There was just two dead people in an otherwise peaceful apartment.
Nothing screams burglary about this.
Right. In questioning some of the neighbors and whatnot, the police learned that Jennifer Valerin was not the tenant here. It sounds like there's some good police work going on here.
Yeah, for once with our show.
Right. But
the children of thunder, 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 thunder.
They were busting their asses to get rid of evidence. They had rented a jet ski at the Sacramento Delta in their quest to get back on track with God's plan. By that time, Selena was in duffel bags, and they had loaded Selena and the Steinmans into the car.
I'm going to say something here. Jet skis are for fun, not disposing of evidence.
Right. They then
Unless the evidence is how much extra money you have to rent a fucking jet ski.
Yeah. Right. They then loaded all of the bags with rocks and then loaded them all onto the jet ski. How, I don't know, unless they dragged them underwater. Yeah, tied the bags together, then tied the other end to the jet ski, and then dragged them submerged.
I mean, jet skis don't have saddlebags, so
no. So that's the only thing that they could have done. And if you think about it, that is a smart thing to do if you're going to use a jet ski, because you wouldn't be able to see these 9 bags that you have. But then again, you wouldn't even be able to stack 9 heavy bags like that up on a jet ski. You'd topple it.
Right, and it's like, if you have the money, you could have rented a boat.
Right.
Rent a fucking jet ski. What a bunch of idiots here. I mean, I get it. Jet skis are cool as shit, but
yeah,
again, not for disposing of evidence.
Later that morning, Jennifer's sister Olga found out about Jennifer's death. She went to the crime scene, and she was asked if she knew of anybody who could have done this. And she mentioned that Jennifer had an abusive ex-boyfriend, but didn't think that he could have done it because he was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that'll make it tricky.
Yeah. But she knew that Selena was dating a guy named Jordan. Olga asked a police officer if anybody had notified Selena. They had not, but an officer asked if she knew where Selena was. Jennifer had told Olga that Selena was going camping in Yosemite. So police sent feelers up into Yosemite, but obviously nothing came up. I mean, they had never been there to begin with.
Right.
Nobody had any clue where she was. None of her friends or relatives, but they had micro clues. A boyfriend in Concord, for example. Maybe he had a brother, around 30 years old, maybe. It was like a puzzle piecing itself together little by little.
White dudes?
White dudes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Some of Selena's co-workers told them about this guy Jordan that she was dating. But one really huge clue turned up. Take a guess. Think 2000.
I don't even know. What's that?
Think 2000. Technology.
Oh, he's got a pager.
You got it.
Yeah. Here we are in 2026, and I also have a pager for work because that's how we are on call, which is insane, but
But Selena had left her pager at work. Actually, that really wasn't a huge clue because pagers aren't that big, but you know what I meant. One number in the pager was from Concord, from a house where 2 brothers lived. They got the names on the lease, and they ran them through the DMV and confirmed not only the names Glenn Taylor Helzer and Justin Allen Helzer. They also found that Taylor owned a 1998 Saturn sedan, and Justin owned a white 1995 Nissan pickup. Put a knife in that.
I wonder what kind of Saturn it was.
I don't know.
I had a 98 Saturn. That was my first car.
That company didn't last very long.
No. Solid vehicle, though. I mean,
I know. You know what's a solid car? A Pontiac G6.
Yeah.
Those cars are indestructible.
Yep. That was one of the last models that Pontiac made, too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, back in 2014, I was taking G6s in trade with like 200,000 miles on it. Still ran like a freaking champ.
Yep. Sounds about right.
And I still see him every now and then. The security guard at my previous job, he had one. I asked him how many miles he had on it. He said about 300,000.
I still see them up here occasionally, but they're rusted to shit because
all the ice, all the salt and everything.
Like, so, pro tip, anybody that lives in the Northeast, if you can ever get a hold of a car that came up from down south and it's got like 100,000 miles on it, don't even hesitate. It's going to be fine. Like my car, I bought it with 150,000 miles on it, but it came up here from like, I don't remember if it was Georgia or South Carolina. Nothing wrong with it. No rust, nothing.
Yeah. But a detective had the driver's license pictures printed and began showing them around. One of Selena's co-workers says, "That's Jordan. That's the guy she was seeing."
Oh, Jesus.
So police got a search warrant and went over early the next morning on the date that we already got, August 7th, 2000. They kicked the door in. Justin and Dawn were arrested easily, but Taylor came out the back window in nothing but a pair of tidy whities.
Nice.
He took off running and rounded a corner and ran straight into a cop on the scene. He was taken down and arrested.
It tends to happen that way when you're running from the cops in your underwear. Ask Pablo Escobar, except he got killed on a roof.
But a cop was in the car with Taylor, and it was hot outside, but for whatever reason, Taylor wasn't cuffed.
Jesus.
But the cop was like trying to be proactive, and she said, like, "We just want to verify if you knew Selena Bishop or not." But she had lowered the window a little, down and everything because it was hot. But Taylor managed to get out of the car.
This fucking creature climbs out of the window.
He ran in tidy whities through the neighborhood. He broke into a random woman's house and threatened the woman and demanded money, a gun, and a car. The demands were never met, but how in the hell are you going to demand a gun from somebody? You're in tidy whities demanding a gun? You're actually going to give somebody enough time to go and locate a gun?
I would have been like, yeah, hold on, man. Hang out on the couch. Grab some water. I'll be right back with it.
Yeah.
And I'd call 911 from there and be like, hey, send an ambulance and maybe somebody with some sponges because we're going to need to clean this shit up when you get here.
Here's your gun, sir.
I will give it to you one round at a time.
Like, how about you sit your naked ass down, or maybe I shoot you?
I would definitely come out. I'd come out fucking Frank Reynolds style, and I started blasting.
Yeah. Oh, you meant the whole gun. My bad.
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
How you gonna not have a gun and demand a gun from somebody?
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that this woman didn't own a gun. But
I would imagine not.
Yeah, because otherwise she would have given it to him.
Yep.
But the woman, yeah. You want this gun?
You got 17 more where that one came from, dickhead. Stay still.
But the woman did give him a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt, both much too big for him.
You got juicy written across the ass when he was arrested. That'd have been fucking hilarious.
Oh, that would have been awesome. They should have brought him into prison wearing that.
A fucking bright pink Victoria's Secret sweatshirt.
But then he grabbed a pair of scissors, he cut off his ponytail and took off out the back door. He climbed the fence.
They'll never recognize me without my ponytail.
Yeah.
The man who was just arrested in his underwear.
Yeah. He climbed a fence and ran right onto the main road where there were cops everywhere.
Dumb bastard.
Dumbass!
He was also tripping over the huge sweatpants, so that certainly didn't help.
That's funny.
But he was arrested. There's no Richard Ramirez type chase here. But that's really all that was missing. Would be
Somebody
like
hit him with a fucking stop sign.
Yeah. Unless they had actually made it to Salt Lake City and tried to literally sack the tabernacle. But I'm sure with all the defense measures in that building, I'm sure that somebody had a cartoon type defense system. You push a button, a large arm comes out of the outer wall holding a giant fly swatter, and whack.
He walks through the door and they fucking Ewok him on Endor and just smash his head with 2 logs. And let's be honest, Salt Lake City, Utah, people there have guns. You walk into the church and try, you get a little froggy. Somebody's going to fucking split your wig from a couple pews back.
They have guns, going to work. They have guns, but no alcohol.
That might be for the best, though. You shouldn't mix the two. It is fun, but
isn't it strange that they have an NBA team but no alcohol?
I think it's stranger than they have an NBA team with 6 black dudes in the entire state that don't play for the team.
I think it's even weirder that they have a team in Salt Lake City called the Jazz.
So I think that's because they originally were in New Orleans,
where there is jazz.
Yeah. But then again, we also have to say one of the greatest white basketball players of all time, John Stockton, played for the Jazz. And then prolific child rapist Karl Malone also played for the Jazz. Oh, you didn't know about
the... No.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Really?
Karl Malone fathered a child with a 13-year-old girl, and that boy went on to play in the NFL.
Wow.
Hold on, I can get the guy's name. He was a lineman. He's fucking huge. Karl Malone, son, NFL. Demetrius Bell is Karl Malone's son.
Who do you play for?
Looks like we have.
And when?
So he was born in 1984. He played for the Eagles, the Bills, and the Cowboys. And he was a 7th round draft pick in 2008.
Interesting.
Yep.
But
he's a big son of a bitch. He's a 6'5", 320.
Damn.
Yeah.
The Helzer house was searched, and it was trashed everywhere except for, guess which room?
The bathroom.
Correct.
Which is suspiciously clean.
Right. The bathroom was where Selena and Annette had their throats cut. And
that makes sense.
And it was spotless.
We bleached the piss out of this one.
Yeah. Police found documents that had the name Steinman on them. The cop on scene remembered that they had a missing Steinman couple. So that's when all the layers began peeling off of this giant lime. Because of her death. Never mind. This was the same day when that first duffel bag surfaced. Just a guy on a jet ski. Hey, what do we got here?
Horror. It's horror is what we have here.
All of the bags were recovered. They contained cut up body parts of the Steinman and Selena Bishop. Later, the vehicles that were tied to Taylor and Justin matched descriptions of the vehicles believed to be connected to the murders. Investigators also found that Justin had recently purchased a 9mm Beretta handgun, the weapon that was used to kill Valerin and Gamble. Fingerprints belonging to Justin and Godman were found in the Steinman's van, which the
children of thunder.
Oh, cringy.
Thunder.
But so are they.
Had abandoned. Don Godman accepted a plea deal and agreed to testify against the Helzers. She was sentenced to 37 years to life in prison for the murders and 12 years and 8 months for other charges related to the murders. Don told the court that Justin had smashed Selena with the hammer and that he had been the one who bashed Ivan's head on the floor. Taylor Helzer pleaded guilty to all charges and was sentenced to death. Justin Helzer pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, with his attorneys claiming that he had a delusional disorder. He was delusional. He actually thought he was doing God's work, and which was a result of years of being preached to and controlled by Taylor.
And so you said it was a Beretta that they recovered?
Yeah.
I really hope that it was like a PX4 and not like an actual like 92F, because the Beretta 92F is what the military had for years, and those things are super fucking cool. I feel like this guy would have been a giant nerd and would have bought like a piece of shit Beretta,
Probably. But you know what? I don't know. Like I said, I've never actually heard. I wasn't familiar with this story, so I haven't listened to a lot of podcast episodes about it. But I'm wondering, we might be the only podcast that's going to say this. None of this would have happened. Obviously, none of this would have happened without Taylor, but Taylor wouldn't have happened had it not been his mother.
This was all mommy being a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, but Taylor was the mastermind. Taylor claimed all responsibility, hoping that he'd become a martyr and that somebody else would take up the cause. What cause? What? If he's the prophet, maybe somebody else could just say, "Hey, I'm the prophet."
And these guys, it's going to sound weird. I guarantee you somewhere in like their goofy ass little minds, they were like trying to channel the ghost of fucking like Orrin Porter Rockwell, who was an assassin basically for the Mormon church back in the day. He was Brigham Young's personal bodyguard. He was a scary son of a bitch. Like he killed more people than God back then.
Did you ever see that movie or that TV series American Primeval?
I have not watched it, but I've heard it's really good.
It is.
It's definitely on my Netflix list, but it's one of those things I'm like, I should probably not watch this when I have my son, just to be safe.
Yeah. Justin was found guilty and sentenced to death. He and Taylor both were incarcerated at San Quentin. But Justin attempted suicide in 2010 by ramming pins into both of his eyeballs.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, he survived, but was left blinded with brain damage.
He regrets that.
Well, not really, because he tried again on April 14th, 2013, and was successful.
Oh, good for him. I'm glad he succeeded in something in his life.
You know he's gonna say it. He won't sugar.
Oh no, he said he's glad the guy.
You might even say he's a loon. That's history, goon.
Well, you hadn't said anything yet. We gotta use it.
That's true.
We're like done.
We have fun here.
Yeah, but he hung himself with a sheet.
No, good for him.
Taylor is still at San Quentin on death row, but he'll die in prison.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the story of
the children of
thunder, 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 thunder.
Oh God, these guys suck.
Yeah,
kind of goes without saying, but
I made that literally minutes before we did this episode. So, yeah. Anyway, but thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We appreciate the hell out of it. Please like, subscribe, follow on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Do all the things.
5-star rating are great, but word of mouth really helps too. So if you like us, tell a friend. If you hate us, tell an enemy. And until next week, later.
Okay, love you. Bye.